to make sure you've got it right?
One of the best things in life for me, and I think for quite a lot of other people as well, is food. So we've asked several people to make us some of their favorite dishes. So let's see what's cooking.
Hello, I'm Geetha, and I'm going to tell you about a very popular Asian snack, which is the samosa. The samosa is a triangular shaped snack which has a casing made of flour, and it has different types of fillings. Children usually like the sweet filling, which is with coconut and sugar, but you can also make it with meat. But my specialty is a spicy vegetable filling, and for that you need carrots, we need some potatoes, we need onion, peas, and spices which go into it: cumin, chili powder, mustard, and salt. And for the casing, we need some flour, water, and salt, which go into the dough. And of course, oil for the deep frying of the samosas after we've finished making them. Now, the filling is, as I told you, consists of potatoes, peas, and carrots. The potatoes and carrots are diced into small pieces, and you have onions, which are chopped up into small pieces, and it is all cooked in a frying pan till it is soft and tender with the spices: cumin, chili powder, salt, and mustard. And that is what is really the filling. You see the potato, you see the peas, the carrots, and the onions in this. Now, for the casing, or the outer coating with which you've put the vegetable mix in, it's the flour, which is made into a soft dough with water and salt. You make it into a soft, pliable dough, knead it well, and roll it on the rolling board. Divide it into small pieces, portions rather, so that you have to do some more work with the dough as you go along. Divide it into small portions, then take one portion, roll it well between your palms, and so as it not to be very sticky, put it in some dry flour and roll it there. Bring it back to the rolling board and roll it out into a very thin, round shape of a diameter about 6 to 8 inches. Make it as thin as possible, because the thinner the outer covering, the crispier it will be, and you could have more filling inside instead of just plain flour. So keep rolling it till it is nice and thin, but try and keep the shape as round as possible, because the final triangular shape of the samosa is dependent on how round you can roll it out. So keep it thin. If it sticks to the rolling pin, keep dusting it with flour, but not too much because it might dry it out. And roll it as thin as possible. And then we can cut it with a knife. So after you've rolled it, take the knife and cut it so that you get 2 portions, which will make 2 samosas. Take the filling, place it in the corner, and fold over to give you the triangular shape. Press down very firmly so that it doesn't open up when you're ready to fry. But before you put it in the oil for frying, you've got to test the oil to see that it's hot enough to drop the samosa in, and that's the test. You drop a little piece of dough, and as soon as it rises to the top, it's ready. Drop the samosa in gently and turn it around a couple of times without breaking the samosa, and fry it till it's golden brown. And as you see, it puffs up as it fries. It doesn't have to cook for very long, and there it is, almost ready to come out. Drain as much of the oil as possible and remove it onto some paper so that you can drain the excess oil. There you are, and the samosa is ready. Here you have the samosa, which is a snack but it doesn't mean that you've got to eat it only at snack time. It is also served with main meals as a starter.
Next week, there'll be more about food when we visit a Chinese restaurant. And we'll also be looking at what happens when you have to phone work because you're sick. Meanwhile, if there are some things you'd like to go over in today's program, you can get the Speak for Yourself book. It's on sale now at a bookshop near you.
If you would like more information about anything in today's program, ring this number, 01-992-5522, or just 992-5522 if you live in London. Or write in your own language to P.O. Box 7, London, W3. Until next week, goodbye.
The London telephone number to ring for advice is 019925522, and the lines will be open tomorrow from 10 o'clock until 5 p.m. And the BBC book, which accompanies the series, is available from bookshops. The price is £2.75. And there are teachers' notes to accompany the series, which can be obtained free of charge by sending a 15.5 stamped addressed envelope at least 12 inches by 9 inches to Speak for Yourself, BBC Television, London W12 8QT. Well, now, just before the weather forecast, a brief look at tomorrow evening's line-up of programmes here on BBC1. At 6:50, Barbara Woodhouse and her world of horses and ponies. There's hospital drama with Angels at 7:15, and at 7:40, James Garner opens up the Rockford Files. Comedy at 8:30, when the Minister, Paul Eddington, has to take advice from the Special Branch. And at 9:25, the play for today is the story of a white South African writer looking for a new life in London and a room for the winter. At 10:30, Norman St. John Stevens will be in conversation with the Speaker of the House of Commons, the Right Honourable George Thomas MP. And at 11 o'clock, Telly Savalas stars as Kojak. Those are programmes tomorrow evening here on BBC1, where we now have the weather prospects from Jack Scott.
Hello. Another mild night in the offing, a very mild night indeed, with the weather still coming up from the south there. The air is quite warm coming up from that part of the Atlantic. But things are beginning to change now. I think the next couple of days are going to see us all in much colder weather. What's happening is that this deepening low is going to dash past the northern part of Scotland there and then go to the northeast of us, and we'll get into those much colder northwesterlies. That'll take a couple of days, of course, and in the meantime we've got much stronger winds as these isobars pack up as it goes by the north there, and also it'll bring some rain. In fact, by noon tomorrow you can see that it'll be north of Scotland. The isobars very tightly packed by then, so windier, and these fronts that you see crossing the country bringing rain again. So as far as tonight's weather is concerned, some of that rain has already got into the western side of Scotland here, and it'll wash over the rest of Scotland as the night goes by. I think there'll be some drizzle down this west side of England and Wales, and along the Channel coast, just patches of drizzle, and that particular coastal area too suffering from coastal fog. But elsewhere in England and eastern Wales as well, a dry night, and as I said at the beginning, a very mild night, and by the end of the night the winds in the northwest there picking up quite strongly. So tomorrow that northern part, including Northern Ireland, I think by then, is going to have a fairly wet day, rain on and off, much showery rain, but some longer spells at times going through. And then as that cold front eases away southeastwards, you'll find it brightening up in the northwest there, a little bit of sunshine in between. The temperatures staying reasonable, not quite as high as they were today, but the winds very strong indeed, some quite severe gales in that area. Still that drizzle down these western and southern coasts, still quite misty and murky there, but England and Wales coming off with a dry day for the most part, but in the evening time, perhaps late afternoon, the rain will become more persistent in the west, and this rain will slowly ease its way our way, and then in the next 2 days getting much colder but brighter. Good night.
Well, can I just remind you, if you're looking for more entertainment to see you through the night, then Radio 2's on the air all through the night. Brian Matthews broadcasting at the moment. At 1 o'clock, Truckers Hour, of course. And then at 2 o'clock, You, the Night and the Music, presented by Richard Clegg. Nice mixture of music and chat there. That's all on BBC Radio 2. From all of us here at the Television Centre in London, working on BBC One, it just remains for me, David Allen, to thank you for joining us. Do hope you'll be with us tomorrow. Good night.